Like I felt beautiful. Like I loved having long hair, and I just felt like, but it was about my hair. Like I felt like my hair was making me beautiful.
Right.
And that's what I always thought. Like, well, God, if I cut my hair or don't dye my hair, then my beauty will be gone.
Right.
But amazingly, like I found the true beauty. You know, like it comes from the inside. It's not from the color of your hair,
right,
or how long it is.
Right. Hey ladies, welcome back to my Fierce Aging series. This is my 8th installment of Fierce Aging for 2020, and I have Janelle in the studio as my guest today, all the way from Colorado. And she has been in her great journey about 13 months. She's going to be turning 48 next week, and she is really concerned with pigmentation. She got melasma when she was pregnant, and she really wants to play with color, and so we broke out of the box. We're using silver linings today. We're so excited to add color. When you have gray and you have brown hair, there are no rules, ladies. And what I'm actually going to surprise you with some of the way I'm applying makeup today in this video. So ladies, let's get this beauty started. All right, ladies, so we're back with Janelle, and we're gonna I really want to mix it up and do some color. We're using silver linings, and we're going to go in to give her this beautiful, now she's a little bit natural from Colorado. But we were gonna play with color, and that's this whole thing. We're gonna do a really beautiful smoky, I say that very loosely, smoky eye. And I'm gonna first start with prepping her skin with the Caudalie, the micellar water. This is antioxidants, grape water, and it also has chamomile in it. So any residual makeup's on her face. I wanna tone her skin. I wanna really have it nice and prepped for my moisturizer. I'm going to take the Caudalie. This is the Venosource Moisturizing Sorbet. I really like this because it's not greasy. It's nice and hydrating. And just speaking of Colorado, I mean, you cannot get enough moisture in your skin, right? So I have my Essential Makeup Brush Kit here, 8 amazing brushes that are 100% vegan. And I'm gonna take my foundation brush. I like to use this. You can use your hands with the moisturizer, but I like to use the foundation brush to apply my moisturizer.
Oh. Would I use the brush when I'm at home?
You know what? It depends on your application. Like if you like to, then you can use it. If you want to use just your hand, sometimes, using your hands, pressing it in is a lot easier. You can feel it more into the skin. Going in with the Resveratrol, this is a beautiful eye balm. And I've mentioned in some of my videos that I've gone through, I think this is 4th tube. I cut them in half so I can get every single bit out. That's what I do with products that I love. Because I'm like, I can't squeeze it out, but I know there's some left in here. So I'm just gonna go around the eyes to hydrate the eye area. All right, the first step I'm gonna do is the eye and lip primer. So I always start with the eyes. I don't do the foundation and the concealer because that is just my style of not disturbing anything on the face. So if I've done the foundation and the concealer, and then I start doing this beautiful soft smoky eye and I fall out, then I have to take off and clean up underneath the eye, and I don't like that. I don't like to put a ton of powder and then whisk it away. I don't want to do that. So basically I start with the eyes. I have nothing on the skin, so I can clean up as much as I want. I have a lot of room to be able to manipulate the eye area without having foundation or concealer already there. So I'm just going to take the concealer brush. I'm going to just go into the eye primer, and the reason why I'm using this is to really neutralize the eye. There's a lot of redness, there's a lot of veins, there's a lot of pigmentation. I want it to be nice and neutral, so when I put on the eyeshadow, it's a real true color. So it's not competing with somebody's skin tone, and it's kind of getting muddied up. I want it to be really nice and neutral. And the key with this product is not using too much. If you use too much, if you go overboard, you're going to see that it's not going to perform the way it should. So I'm just taking a nice couple dabs in here. You can take your finger also and press it into the eye. So I'm going to just go across her eyes from the lash line all the way up to the brow bone. Nice and thin. You can see how thin I'm applying this product. I'm not going crazy thinking, oh, more is going to be more. No, actually less is more. I just want to neutralize this area. It's not a very large area that I need to cover. So I don't want to go crazy with too much product. So you can see already, it's just neutralizing out the eye. I love getting it right in here where we're all having that kind of shadow and darkness. So it gets nice and neutral. So this eye is primed, this eye is not primed. So you'll have a little bit more of a pigmentation down here, a little bit of an even tone kind of to the outside and above. So that is exactly why I take the eye primer. I love just priming my eyes. Also, if you have really oily lids, this is a great thing to be able to do to prime your lids, get everything neutralized, everything nice. It dries like a nice soft powder. So you really have a nice base. Now I'm going to do something different than I normally do. I'm going to start by shaping her brows because I'm going to be doing a smoky eye and I really want to have her brows framing her eyes so I can all come together while I'm doing her shadow. I have a really nice kind of framework. I'm taking my skinny brow pencil and this is in medium brown. And this is what is really nice about the skinny brow pencil is that I'm going to get nice feather-like strokes. I'm not going to get heavy, waxy application to the brows, which look fake and unnatural. So basically, nice and thin, has a spoolie on the other end. So I can, if I feel like I have too much on the brow, like, oh no, I think I added a little bit too much, I can just go through the brow with the spoolie. It will disperse the color very nicely.
I think that's what I'm always afraid of is that it's just going to look drawn on.
Exactly. So what's really nice is that you can see where your brows are. Mm-hmm. You want to follow the brow hair. So if we're looking at her brows, this is where they should start, right? So she's starting where she should. So the corner of the nose, just take the pencil over right where the corner of the eye is, straight up. This is where she should be starting, which her hair does start there. Ball of the nose over the iris. This is where she should be arching. So her brows are a little bit more of a rounded brow. So if we know where it should arch, which is right here, we can build that up for her. And then corner of the eye right here to be the ending of her brow. So you have a little bit of a guide by your nose and your eye. So you just have to pay attention to that. So with knowing that, I'm not going to want to alter her brows too much. I want them to still look natural. So you can start with doing nice wispy strokes, okay? Until you get comfortable with how much pigment you're depositing on the brow. So I'm going into her brows. I'm just giving her a little bit more definition. Up here, I really would like to kind of give her a little bit more of an arch. So I'm gonna just build that up and then I'm gonna bring it down. Now remember ladies, I don't do Instagram brows. I don't do templates. I follow where the natural hair is. Janelle looks beautiful with her brows. They're shaping her face. I'm not gonna go in and make them real square. I'm not gonna follow any trends. I wanna follow what is right for her, where her hair is growing. You know, we can do a little bit of shading down here if we wanted to give them a little bit more thickness, but we're not doing anything that's going crazy and making them look unnatural. So I'm going to be taking our Silver Linings eyeshadow palette, and I love this. I just love the name of Silver Linings. I always think that everyone's beauty story has a silver lining. It's if we see it or not, and we go through this journey, and every time I use this palette, I always think, you know, what's the positive? What's my great takeaway? And Janelle doesn't normally, she's, you know, Colorado, she's a little bit more natural, and I thought, you know, she wants to play around with color. Why not? This is going to be really beautiful. And it's going to show you how you can take a palette like this that might scare you, right? See dark colors, you see silvers, and we're going to make it approachable. We're going to make it usable. And I don't want you to be afraid of using color or looking at a palette and saying, no way, I would never be able to do that. So I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and I'm going to go into this beautiful silver blue color. So again, it's about how much you load up on the brush, how much product you're going to load up on the brush. So I'm going to just lightly go in. They're very highly pigmented shadows. So you can't do what you normally do with other shadows where you really put up a lot of product on the brush. It's going to be too much. So I can always add more. That's always been my thing. So I can go very conservative and then add more, but it's harder to take away. So just build. Just feel free to start very conservative and then you can build. So building up on the middle color here, I got a pretty good amount on the brush. And then I'm going to, let's close your eye. I'm going to concentrate on most of the color being by her lash line. Okay, so she has a larger lids here, so I don't want to overwhelm her eye with a lot of color here. So I'm going to build up most of the color at the base here. So when I start moving the product, it's kind of like a nice wash of color. So again, pressing in, I want really to be placing my shadow right in the middle of the eye. I'm turning right like that. Right like that. Then what I'll do is I will dust off my brush on a towel or paper towel so I have no product on my brush. I will come back and I will start working the product up towards right into this little crease right below the brow bone. So I'm going to just, you know, kind of blend this color. I really want a nice wash of color, pulling it out to the sides. Now remember, I don't have any foundation, I don't have any concealer here, so I can be as free with blending as I want. So if I have color all over here, that's fine. I go and I'm going to be able to whisk that away with my eye makeup remover pad. So my big intention right now is to blend this color.
I think that's one of my biggest struggles is knowing how to blend it.
You know,
and that's why I stay away from darker shades.
Well, you can never over blend, right? So if you're blending and blending and blending, all it's going to do is just really look beautiful into the skin, right? And if you blend out too much, you can go back and add some more color. So there's really no wrong way to be blending when you're working with a darker color. So this is really a beautiful wash. So I started building with most of the concentration here, and then that is basically now dispersed over the whole lid. So see, ladies, I didn't go higher. I just went to here. There could be a little bit of overage there, but that's great. I like that. I like how I have more of a concentration here, and then it's lighter, and it's kind of giving you that nice wash.
So you feel like the silvers are okay for like a daytime look?
Well, you know, listen, it's all about your personality, isn't it?
Okay.
Right? You can wear, again, there's no beauty rules. You can wear a beautiful smoky eye during the day if you want to. I mean, for you, I would definitely think this would be more evening, going out, you know, a birthday that's coming up, something that's going to be, you know, where you want to have more of a stronger eye. Now we're going to go into the darker color here. It has beautiful silver flecks. It's very, very pretty, but it's also very concentrated. So you've got to be really careful when you're using it. Taking my shading brush, I'm going to just dip in. This is actually kind of tapered like a pencil. So you're going to get a very precise application right in the corner of the eye on the outside. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So my idea is that I want to, again, build up. I want to have the darkest part of my application down here near the lash line. And then I'm going to just take it up, and it's almost like a little V. I'm not going crazy into this contour area. I just want to apply the product, get it nice into the skin, and then I can build. So I can always keep adding. It's just harder to take away. Now, a great little tip too is that when you're looking in the mirror and you're doing this and you're doing the contour color, when you open your eye, just look at me, you can see where you have the contour of your eye and where you want to blend. So it's color theory. So when you put on a darker color, it's going to recede back. So this is going to give you depth. This is going to give you that personality to your eye. So you're going to, you can just open your eye again and you can feel it and you can see where you're actually blending the darkest color. I don't think I've ever done that before. It just gives you kind of like a cheat sheet. So you know where this is where your darkest color, you know, it's easy to figure out where it's going to go. And I don't want you ladies to get nervous about, oh my gosh, it doesn't look perfect right now, or when I just put on 2 colors and it looks messy. That's fine. That's why you blend it. You want to be patient with this. It's not going to, you know, you might practice a couple times and then really figure out, oh, you know what? If I apply it like this, then I really like this look from my eyes. Or you start understanding how you like to apply the color. Another little trick is if you feel like, oh gosh, I have too much of the dark color, I'll have to start all over. You don't have to start all over. Just take your eyeshadow brush, go back into the lightest color, okay? And you can sweep it over the top again, so you're blending out with the lighter color. So you don't have to say, oh no, I just did too much and it looks, you know, just start blending again with the lighter color so they look married together. There's no harsh lines. There's no demarcation line.
Well, that's a good tip because usually I would just wipe it off and go back to my tans.
Exactly. You know, you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm not doing this right. You can't get discouraged. You have to just keep trying and blending. And then it'll like all of a sudden it will come together for you. And you're going to be like, I can't believe I didn't do this.
I know.
Like, you know, all the time for special events, dates, or.
Right.
Again, I'm just taking the darkest color. I'm going to apply right here at the base of the lash on an angle. I'm going to build up the color into a little bit of the contour right below the brow bone. Okay, so you can see I have a a lot of concentration there. Wipe off my brush, and then I'm just going to start pulling it in, blending it nicely. Now open your eye. Now this is a perfect example. So I have more here on this eye than I do that eye. That's not a problem. We're going to keep blending. We're going to just keep dispersing this color and it will come together. You can take your eyeshadow brush and bring that color down, right? If you need to, if it went a little too high, you can take your finger. These are all great tips because you don't have to just use brushes. Get involved with, okay, you know what, let me take this down a little bit. I'm gonna just use my fingers. You know, you don't have to follow all these rules thinking, oh my gosh, like I see it like this on YouTube and I'm not doing it right? I think a lot of women get intimidated by that. Like, oh no, I can't do this now. I just screwed it all up and it's all over my face.
Right.
No, you can work it. You can start, okay, you know what, this will take it down a little bit. That's perfect. Okay. I just don't want you feeling like you have to start over because it doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look like, you know, it'll start coming together, and that's the most important. Now, the great thing is that you can have this eyeshadow all over your face, take your eye makeup remover pad. These are my Almay pads, very easy. And I can just nicely clean up. It's very easy, just a tiny little pad here. I can't live without these little guys. I've used them forever. Round your finger, and you can take this and just clean up anything that went a little bit out of where you want it to be. I'm gonna take the lightest color, and I'm going to just use this kind of the short shading brush because it has no color on it right now. And I'm gonna go just right underneath the brows. The really interesting thing about this look, ladies, is that because I do the eyes first and there's no makeup on, no lips, no cheeks, it can look like, oh my gosh, this looks not what I expected. But that's because I do it reverse. So most of the times when you're watching YouTube or you're watching people do their face is like completely done and then they do their eyes. I do it opposite. So of course the eyes are going to look very strong until the whole look comes together.
So are you saying that I'd be running right now if I could see it?
Yes, the ladies at home are probably like, I'm sorry, what are you doing right now? I'm gonna take my my black waterproof eyeliner. This is really nice because you have a sharpener on the end, and then you have a little smudger.
Oh.
So you have it built right into the brush on the end there. So I'm gonna just take the black eyeliner. Again, I like to do a very, very tight line in the lash line. This is kind of like my little secret of making just look down. Making your lashes look more of a thicker line without adding a lot of bulk. I don't love thick eyeliner I don't want it to weigh down your eye, but I want that really beautiful dimension around your eye. You feel how creamy it is? It's like not dragging on your eye. That's why it's so much easier to apply.
I think that's where I struggle sometimes with eyeliner, and it just becomes a very big, thick line, and then I don't know how to get it off.
For this look, I'm going a little bit above. You'll see it's not perfect because I'm going to go back over with the brush that's going to smudge it and make it really nice and soft. So I want you to see, ladies, with the liner, see how I have it and it's like not perfect. It's like, you know, a little bit up and not totally smooth on her line. I wanted it like that because I'm going to go back in with my brush. That's the really short bristled brush that's going to help really smoke this line out. Make it, just drag it across your lash line. You can really just make this really beautiful, softer. So it doesn't matter if you basically went a little bit above the line, it's not going to show. It's all going to blend nicely together. Now I'm going to take the black eyeliner and go underneath her eyes, just underneath the lash line a little bit. I just want some balance, so I'm going to just take it, almost kind of doing like a lash enhancement, little dots. So it looks like there's something not heavy. And then I'm going to just take the same brush and I'm going to smooth it out. Take the same brush, the short smudging brush, and I'm going to just drag it underneath so it just softens and gives her just a little bit of shadow. Okay.
So does it really just depend on the shape of your eye when you put either the eyeliner underneath? Because I always feel like I need eyeliner underneath. And so I know some people don't put anything.
Yes, I mean, I like to put it on the outside here, coming in about 3/4, and then I just blend it so it tapers out. I don't like to go all the way into into the corner of the eye because I feel like it just is too much for the eye.
Okay.
You know, you want a little bit of balance, but you don't want it to be too much. You know, it kind of can drag down the face if you have too much eyeliner on the bottom. I'm going to take the Shuamora eyelash curler and I'm going to curl Janelle's lashes first. Just go to the base make sure you don't have any skin when you start to slowly squeeze, and then you're going to hold for 10 seconds and then kind of walk it out to the tips. I'm going to take my mascara, Nikol Cosmetics. It has a really beautiful wand that is going to get every single lash. This is a black mascara, great for contact wearers, sensitive eye wearers, creamy formulation. I love a creamy mascara. It's very hard sometimes to find mascaras that are nice and creamy, that go on nice, that don't clump. So I'm going to just go to the base of her lashes, really work up the base, and then to the tips. So you kind of go to the base and wiggle back and forth to the tips. Now, of course, we're going to do lashes, and the really beautiful thing about this look is that you can do lashes that are a little bit more dramatic, but I wanted to keep it a little bit more natural. So, of course, you know what lashes I'm going to be using if you've been watching my channel. These are Dell lashes. They are number 420. This is just going to thicken up her lash line. It's going to look beautiful, and it's going to pull the look together. So I wouldn't do this look without having lashes on. I think that they make the whole eye come alive.
Yeah.
And multiple videos, ladies. I'll link one here about applying false lashes. Very simple, but it does take practice. How do they feel?
Good. Different.
Different?
I usually wear false lashes for Halloween.
Oh yeah, these are totally different.
Okay, good.
I'm using Eye Duo also, ladies. It's the only lash glue you should be using around your eyes. It is almost like, the analogy for me is like rubber cement. It just comes off. It's just going to peel off. It's not going to damage your own lashes. You can get it at Amazon. I'll have all my links below, so you can easily just click on it and go to the ones that I actually think are the best. This is in black. I like the black glue. They do have white glue. It'll dry to clear, but I like the extra the black gives you. How does that one feel? Good. Look into this camera here. So you can see how they just bump up the look, give you a really beautiful lash line, thicker lashes, but still natural. They don't look over the top. I think they look. All right, ladies, so the eyes are done, and now we're gonna go on to working on the skin. And Janelle is a little concerned about her pigmentation. You said you had melasma when you were pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and you're very active too out in the sun. So
Right.
evening the tone out is very important. I'm gonna start with our corrector. This is a brightener for the eye area. It is a color corrector. It's going to be more of a little bit of a peachy color, and that's going to help with any darkness around the eye area, redness. It's going to even out the tone. I like to apply it where it is tapered out. So I start in the corner of the eye, so you can see the peachy color. It's going to be a nice color corrector for anything dark. So what I like to do is I like to start and I like to taper out, so I don't just have like a ring underneath the eye area. So I want this all to blend very nicely. I can use my fingers after I apply this, and I just want it to just look natural.
Is this the same as a concealer?
No, this is going to be a color corrector.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is correcting anything darkness. It's kind of like lifting the skin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go over with your concealer or your foundation. It depends. Now, I'm going to break the rules a little bit for you guys, for you ladies. I'm going to do the foundation. I'm going to use Dr. Perry Cone's No Makeup in Buff. And then after that, if I want to conceal anything underneath her eyes, I can put the concealer over. So that might be disrupting a lot of people's, oh, you can't do that, you can't. Yeah, you can. You can do that if you want to. If you feel that you just need a little bit of concealing after you do your foundation, you can do that. So again, there's no right or wrong when it comes to makeup. I want you ladies to feel that you can play with color, you can play with different things, different ways of layering. You don't have to feel like, oh, this is how they do it, everybody does it the same way.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever taken it down on my neck. I
Yeah.
just to blend it more.
Yep. So basically, your face doesn't end right here at your
Right.
jawline. So you want it to all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So you want it to just blend nicely into the neck area from your face. Now I'm going to just take the concealer brush and I'm going to go back in with the Warm Front trio of concealer. If I see anything that I really want to just kind of spot treat, I'm going to customize my concealer because I have 3 different colors that I can customize, which is really nice, especially when you have a lot of pigmentation on your face. Some areas are darker, some areas are lighter. This gives you options. Instead of just having one color, you can customize. Maybe you need to just use the dark color on certain areas of your face. Maybe you need to use 2 different colors here. It gives you a lot of range.
I think that's great. The concealer that I use right now, I think, is too light, and then as it dries, I can see it throughout the day, and then I just don't use anything. So it's good to have that option. So the question that I had is, why would you put the concealer on after the foundation?
Okay, so this is a really good question. So I want to concentrate on creating a beautiful canvas with her skin. I don't want to overwhelm with tons of makeup trying to cover up all the different pigmentation spots. So I'm doing the foundation first to give me that beautiful tone, evening out the tone, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to concentrate on areas that I feel need more coverage. So that's why I did it that way instead of the other way. It's just a technique. There's no right or wrong. You can do it the opposite way if you want. Do the concealer first, cover up everything, and then do the foundation. I just feel like when I do the foundation in a case like this, I get a nice even tone, and then I'm going back and I'm specifically going for areas that I really want to make uniformed. So I'm not disrupting it. So if I put the concealer on first and then I'm moving the foundation around the face, I'm moving my concealer. You know what I mean?
Makes sense, yeah.
So also the technique is called stippling. So if I go in with my concealer brush like this, create a custom color, and so say there was a little spot up here that was a little redness. I go in and I'm basically trying to get all around that spot, color correcting it, and then I can just pat in. So this is a technique called stippling, and you can do it on different areas of your face. If you feel like you have more pigmentation, right here, you can just add the layers And that is going to give you beautiful coverage, but it's not going to be adding so much that you look heavy with the foundation. I don't like that. I don't like heavy foundation. I want to see your skin through. It's going to look beautiful, fresh,
natural.
Then I'm going to go back, ladies, and I'm going to take my powder brush and I'm going to just take a little invisible blotting powder and I'm going to just set what I just did. I'm going to take our Classic Beach Face Palette. This is one of my classic pieces, hence the name, that I've had forever and I use it every day and it's really nice. You have a nice peachy blush that's going to have a little bit of sheen to it. You have a universal bronzer that's matte and you have a highlighter. So you can use this actually on your eyes too if you want to. I just love the options I have with this. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of bronzer. And the key to the bronzer, ladies, is if you don't know where to apply it, this is a really great tip. So turn your face to the side. So you want to see the top of your ear. So if you take the brush and you go straight down from the top of your ear, this is where you should be applying your bronzer, in this area here. So I'm going to just follow her lines. I'm going to just give her a little bit of contour on her cheeks here. And I'm doing a light dusting. I can always add more. Right? So I want to do it right where give her some beautiful definition. And then I'm going to just take the brush, wipe off any product, and then I'm going to just blend it in. You can also do a technique called the backwards 3. So you can do where like the sun basically hits you. You can start up at the forehead, come around where I just put her bronzer, and then down on the jawline. So it's a backwards 3. So you're really getting a nice even application of your bronzer and hitting areas that you want to really define. I'm going to take a little bit of this peachy blush, beautiful, just right, going to marry it with the bronzer. Smile. Apples. And now I'm going to take my waterproof organza lip liner. I'm going to line her lips. I don't want to overpower her lips, so I'm going to be using a lipstick color called Pretty Smart, and it's a beautiful soft pink. So this is going to really complement her eyes. You want to have one focal point. So her eyes are the focal point in this makeup look. I'm going to do a nice soft lip, and then I'm going to give her a little gloss with Nibble. So it's all in the same family. It's just going to pull everything together, and it's going to just look absolutely beautiful. I think a lip liner is very important too. When we are aging, we kind of start losing our lips, the definition. So it's nice to use a lip liner. Also, if you have problems with your lipstick blending into or traveling into fine lines and wrinkles around your mouth, we do have a lip liner called Stay Put, and it gives a barrier to your lip color. So it really keeps everything on the lip. High gloss lip gloss that looks just really pretty. Wear it alone. You can wear it over any color. Just kind of gives it a little bit of a pop. All right, so one last trick to do on her eyes, ladies, and it is definitely a option, is taking a nude waterline pencil to open up the eyes. So this will take away any darkness on the actual lid. When you're wearing a darker color like this with your eyes, sometimes it's nice to make them look wide open and wide and not have anything that's dark. It's just a great way to neutralize any redness. So I'm going to show you what you look like with a little bit of color, getting you out of your comfort zone. Okay. Ooh.
Very nice. I like it. It feels like very classy looking.
So ladies, that's exactly what this is all about, is experimenting. Maybe you wouldn't have picked up that palette and been so intimidated, like those colors aren't for me, or what have you. There's nothing wrong with trying things out, working with the colors, blending the colors, and seeing what really works for you. So I'm so happy you came and let me do some color on you today.
Awesome. Yeah.
So ladies, until my next video, I'll see you later.